So thus far, when modifying a page's properties and so on, we've been dealing with HTML tags. And HTML tags are still the bread and butter of how web pages work. However, we have not talked yet about the style tag or about cascaded style sheets, which also referred to as CSS, which are also not only very popular, but pretty standard ways of changing these properties. So I'm going to explain kind of how they are, how they work, and then we'll go into showing why they're so important and what's so cool and useful about them. So in here we have this is our index HTML, right? So we're looking at this page here, and we'll notice there's no background. The way we would have done it before was just to put a BG color equals here, right? But what we're going to do is up in the header tag, we're going to set styles. So styles allow you to put all the styles for all the things on your page all in one location. So we're going to type in the style tag. And then within the style tag, this is where we're going to specify the style of our background. And so you do that first by specifying which tag the style is applying to. So in this case, it's going to apply to the body tag. And so you can do body, and then you do these little curly braces right here. And then everything in the curly braces are properties. These are properties that reply to the entire body tag. So in this case, we would do background color. And notice as we start to type it, it tries to guess what we are. And you can see there's a lot of options here. We're just going to do the color for now, but you can research more of those if you'd like. And you'll notice that there's a lot of options for colors here as well. And this is where I was saying earlier, when we get to CSS, you're going to find colors a lot easier to work with. So we're just going to set the background color to blue now. You'll notice it even shows you a sample here. You can click on that sample and you can come in here and select. It'll auto update, which is really nice, the color. It also does it in decimal, so it's a little easier to read than hexadecimal. So once we set the background color that way, go ahead and save it. And we'll come over here and reload, and you'll see it has changed the background color to the color that we have selected. So you can see kind of how the style tag works. You can specify pretty much anything in your document. Another thing you can do is set classes of certain things to style. So to show an example, let's come over here and we'll do, here's some text. We'll do of type class A. And then we'll do, no, not href. And then we'll do another one. Here is some text of type class B. All right, so we're going to create two classes. We can name them whatever we want. We're going to call them class A and B, right? But you could call them, you know, fancy and unfancy. You call them whatever you want. So to specify a class, you simply come over here and you say P, which stands for paragraph. Class equals. Actually, you probably can't use class A and B because you've got those as tags. So we'll call this class 1, and we'll call it class 2. That'll be a little easier. So we'll do P class equals class 1, and then and P, and then we'll do another one over here. P class equals class 2. And then slash P. So now we've created, you know, text, and we've made it in two different classes, class 1 and class 2. Again, you can call the classes whatever you want. I don't think you can call them, you know, regular HTML tags. So like you couldn't have class table because that's already a class, right? It's table. So we're creating our own custom class here, which is why we can't use A and B, because A is for a link and B is for bold. So we're making sure we give it something that's definitely going to be unique. So we'll call them class 1 and 2. And so we'll notice if we save this, of course, not much should be changed. It'll probably add that second thing down here. There's a space between it, notice, because that P makes it a new paragraph right here. So it doesn't put them all in one line, which is kind of nice. So we can notice that the enter key doesn't make any difference. It's that P that's that paragraph tag that's doing that. And they're each a different class. So now we can come up here into our style, and we could do something like it would be dot and then the name of the class. So class 1. So and then open bracket. So notice we have a dot in front of it, right? That's specifying that it's a custom class. So dot class 1. And then everything in here will affect class 1. So maybe we want to do something like we want to change the font size. So font size, and we can do like 1, right? And then we'll go ahead and save it, and we'll reload. And notice it made it really, really tiny, right? So this is in you get these are more in what we would be used to like in Word with font sizes, right? So this would be 1-point font, and you can see if you zoom in, it's still really hard to see, right? So we might do something like font size 6 or something to make it a little more readable. You can see it's still in there. You can kind of still zoom in. So that would be small, but notice that small font is only applied to class 1. And we might do class 2, and we might do something like font size, and we'll maybe make that 30, really big font. And then we reload, and you'll see this is really big. So we can specify which thing down here we are modifying. And the nice thing is you can have multiple class 1s or multiple class 2s. So you could say here's some more text, here is even more text, right? So this class 1 has appeared 3 times, right? And if we run it, look at our code, you'll see again, it's applying that style to anywhere that it has that class. So it makes it really easy to sort of modify everything all in one spot. So if I come over here, maybe I want to make this also a color, so we do color. And if we do color, we should get, our RGB tag, and then you can change it to something else. We can go like a purple or something like that. Notice that it changes all of them to purple. Or we can make it like maybe a white. It's a little easier to see the change on it. You can see it changes them all to white. So again, the nice thing about CSS, it allows you a one-stop shop, one spot to change all of the styles of everything in your document. So you can say, I want some text to be yellow, some text to be red, some to be blue, and you can specify those colors in one spot, and then you can change the entire layout of the color in your document. So in the next video, we're going to talk about how to make this even more centralized and even more powerful.